One man reportedly stood alone on a narrow wooden bridge, holding off an entire English army by himself, swinging a battle axe so wide and so relentlessly that, according to later chroniclers, he may have killed around 40 of King Harold's soldiers before falling. Stay with me, because what happens next decided the fate of England, just weeks before the most famous battle in its history. Everyone remembers 1066 for one battle, Hastings, and the Norman arrows that changed England forever. But 3 weeks earlier, in the north of the country, a different invasion nearly toppled the kingdom first. This was Stamford Bridge, a battle so brutal, so exhausting, and so decisive that many historians regard it as marking the symbolic end of the Viking Age. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how one bridge, one Axeman, and one exhausted army changed the entire course of English history. In September 1066, King Harold Hardrada of Norway landed on English shores with a fleet of roughly 300 ships, accompanied by Godwinson, the exiled brother of England's own King Harold. Not a raid, but a full invasion. Hardrada intended to claim the English throne itself, backed by one of the largest Viking fleets ever assembled. Salt-soaked sails, thousands of warriors, and the unmistakable scent of impending war drifted over the Yorkshire coastline. York itself fell quickly, its defenders overwhelmed at the Battle of Fulford just days earlier. Could England really be invaded from two directions in the same year? It was about to find out. But what King Harold did next remains one of the most extraordinary military feats in medieval history. King Harold Godwinson was in the south, braced for a very different invasion. William of Normandy's forces gathering just across the Channel. When news reached him of Hardrada's landing in the north, he made a decision that shouldn't have been possible. Not a slow, cautious response, but a forced march covering roughly 180 to 190 miles in around 4 to 5 days, an almost unbelievable pace for a medieval army carrying weapons, armor, and supplies. Muscles burning, feet blistered raw inside leather boots, men falling out of formation from sheer exhaustion. And still, the army kept moving. Harold's forces arrived at Tadcaster, then pushed onward toward York itself, catching Hardrada's army completely by surprise. How do you catch an experienced Viking war king off guard? You do the one thing he assumes is physically impossible. If military history like this fascinates you, this is exactly the kind of overlooked turning point we dig into every week. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. On September 25th, 1066, Hardrada's forces were resting at Stamford Bridge, having assumed Harold's army was still days away. Not full battle readiness, but dangerous complacency. Many Norwegian warriors had left their armor back at the ships, expecting a peaceful exchange of hostages rather than a sudden attack. The late summer heat pressed down on exposed skin as English forces suddenly appeared on the horizon. Banners rising, dust kicked up by thousands of marching feet. Panic spread through the Norwegian camp in seconds. Some warriors scrambled desperately across the River Derwent to rejoin the main force, armor and shields left behind in their haste. What happens when an army is caught with its defenses down completely? That's exactly when one man decided the battle wasn't over yet. As Norwegian forces retreated across the narrow wooden bridge spanning the Derwent, tradition holds that a single warrior turned back to hold the crossing alone. Not desperation, but calculated sacrifice. By blocking the only path across, this one man could buy his retreating comrades enough time to organize a defensive shield wall on the opposite bank. Wielding a massive two-handed battle axe, he reportedly cut down English soldier after English soldier in the narrow confines of the bridge, where numbers meant nothing and only skill and reach mattered. Later chroniclers claim he killed as many as 40 men single-handedly, before one famous account describes an English soldier floating beneath the bridge in a barrel or small boat, thrusting a spear upward through the wooden planks to strike a fatal blow from below. Could one man stand on a single bridge really change the outcome of an entire battle? According to tradition, it bought exactly the time Hardrada needed, but at a devastating cost still to come. But here's the twist. Even after the bridge was taken, the English still weren't guaranteed victory. The hardest fighting was only beginning. With the bridge finally cleared, Harold's forces surged across, and the true battle began on the open ground beyond. Hardrada's Norwegian warriors, though caught without much of their armor, formed a shield wall using whatever protection remained available. Desperate, urgent, shields overlapping in a wall of wood and iron under the relentless late summer sun. Not disorganized chaos, but disciplined instinct. Even in crisis, these were experienced warriors who understood that a broken formation meant certain death. Sweat mixed with blood as the two sides clashed violently, axes and swords ringing against shields in a rhythm that seemed to have no end. Could an army without proper armor really hold against a fully equipped force? For a while, remarkably, they nearly did. If moments like this grip you, sacrifice, desperation, and split-second decisions that shaped history, subscribe for more true battles most people have never heard of. Then came the moment that shattered Norwegian resistance entirely. King Harold Hardrada, fighting fiercely in the thick of combat, was struck in the throat by an arrow. Not a slow decline, but instant collapse. One of history's most feared Viking warlords, a man who had fought across the Mediterranean and Byzantine Empire, died within moments on English soil. His fall sent visible shock through the Norwegian ranks, shields wavering, formation breaking, as disbelief spread faster than any English blade could. Tostig, Harold's exiled brother, attempted to rally the remaining forces, but he too was killed before the battle's end. What happens to an army the moment its legendary leader falls in front of them? Everything unravels at once. Without Hardrada's leadership, the Norwegian shield wall finally broke apart entirely. English forces pressed the advantage relentlessly, cutting down retreating warriors as panic replaced discipline. Not a controlled withdrawal, but genuine slaughter. Of the roughly 300 ships that had carried Hardrada's invasion force to England, contemporary accounts suggest only around 24 returned home. Thousands of Norwegian warriors lay dead across the battlefield and along the riverbank by the day's end. Could a single afternoon really mark the end of an era? Many historians believe it did exactly that. But Harold's victory came with a price far more dangerous than anyone realized in that moment of triumph. Harold's army was now exhausted, battered, and scattered across northern England, hundreds of miles from where the next threat was quietly gathering strength. Not celebration without consequence, but a brutal irony. Just 3 days after Stamford Bridge, William of Normandy landed on England's southern coast, beginning the invasion Harold had been preparing for all along. Harold's forces, still recovering from one of the most punishing marches and battles in medieval history, now had to turn around and march south again. Exhausted men trading one grueling campaign for another without adequate rest. Could an army truly fight 2 decisive battles within a matter of weeks? Harold's men were about to find out at Hastings, and the exhaustion from Stamford Bridge may have cost him everything. So how did one bridge, one Axeman, and one exhausted army end up shaping the fate of an entire kingdom? Not through simple victory, but through a devastating chain reaction. Harold's forced march crushed one invasion, only to leave his army too depleted to fully withstand the next. Many historians regard Stamford Bridge as marking the symbolic end of the Viking Age. But in doing so, it may have quietly handed Duke William of Normandy the advantage he needed just weeks later at Hastings. History remembers 1066 for one battle. It should remember it for two. If this journey into England's forgotten invasion gripped you, subscribe for more overlooked turning points in history. And tell us in the comments, which lesser-known battle should we uncover next?